You're all welcome to today's Deep News Analysis. This is where we break things down in a simple and clear way so you understand what is really going on in Nigeria. If you are new here, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay with me till the end, because this one is serious, emotional, and very important. Today, we are talking about Nnamdi Kanu, his life sentence, his stay in Sokoto prison, and a powerful moment in Abuja that has sparked fresh tension across the country. Let's go straight into it. On November 20th, 2025, a major decision was made at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Justice James Omotosho sentenced Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment for terrorism. That moment changed everything. A man who had been at the center of national debate for years was now facing the rest of his life behind bars. This was not just another court judgment. It was a turning point in Nigeria's political and security conversation. For many people, it confirmed the government's strong position. For others, it raised serious questions about fairness, justice, and national unity. After the judgment, Kanu was moved far away to a correctional facility in Sokoto. Not in the southeast. Not close to his base. Far. Very far. That distance quickly became part of the discussion. Many began to ask why he was kept so far from his region. Others argued that it was a security decision. But for a lot of people, it added more emotion to an already sensitive situation. Kanu did not accept the judgment. He filed an appeal at the Court of Appeal. In his argument, he said the trial had serious legal issues. He insisted that there were fundamental errors and that the process did not follow proper standards. He also made a request to be transferred out of Sokoto. That request was later rejected. So as it stands today, he remains in Sokoto, serving a life sentence while waiting for the outcome of his appeal. This is where things become even more serious. Because beyond the court, the case has moved fully into the public space. It is now a national issue being discussed at different levels, from politics to traditional leadership. At a major national gathering in Abuja, the issue came up again in a very direct way. A respected traditional ruler, Lawrence Agubuzu, spoke openly about how he feels concerning Kanu's situation. He did not speak in a hidden way. He spoke clearly.
Nnamdi Kanu is in Sokoto. So, sir, the ball stops on your court. Bring this man out. If we don't want him in Nigeria, return him to Kenya or London, where they took him from. You see, some of us here are being asked to go and work, but the young people in the southeast are so agitated. They can even beat us. They see us as sellouts. We come to Abuja, they may think we come to collect money. And then we keep quiet. So, sir, please do something about this. Do something about this. We cannot make progress in this country if we don't tell ourselves the home truth. There's no way. There's no way.
The appeal is still before the court, and the outcome could shape what happens next. Legal experts believe the appeal process will be critical in deciding whether the conviction stands or is reviewed. At the same time, public pressure is growing. Different voices are speaking. Some are calling for strict respect for the law. Others are calling for political solutions. And in the middle of all this, one fact remains unchanged. Nnamdi Kanu is in Sokoto, serving a life sentence, waiting. And Nigeria is watching closely as this situation continues to develop. At a national gathering in Abuja, attention shifted quickly from health discussions to a deeper national issue that many believe cannot be ignored. The event brought together top traditional rulers, religious leaders, and government officials, including the President, Bola Tinubu. It was meant to focus on unity, cooperation, and national progress. But what happened during that meeting changed the tone completely. In the middle of the gathering, a respected voice stood up to speak. That voice was Lawrence Agubuzu. He spoke calmly, but his message was direct and serious. He began by acknowledging the discussions that had already taken place. He mentioned that leaders had spoken about working together as one country, building trust, and moving Nigeria forward as a united nation. But then, he made it clear that something was missing. He said that despite all the talk about unity, there are real issues on the ground that are not being addressed properly. He pointed to one issue in particular: the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu. He said he was not happy about it. He explained that while leaders sit together and speak about peace, there are strong feelings in the southeast that cannot be ignored. According to him, many people in that region are deeply concerned about Kanu's situation, especially after his sentencing and transfer to Sokoto. He stressed that this concern is not just political. It is emotional and social. Then he introduced a comparison that immediately caught attention across the room. He referred to Sunday Igboho. He explained that in his view, both Kanu and Igboho are seen by their people as strong voices representing regional concerns. However, he pointed out that their situations are very different. While one is receiving recognition and honor, the other is in prison. That contrast raised serious questions. He suggested that such differences in treatment could increase feelings of imbalance and unfairness among different groups in the country. The room became more attentive. His message became stronger. He turned directly to the president. He said clearly that the decision now rests with the leadership of the country. He appealed for action. He asked that Kanu be released. Then he added another option. If the country does not want him, he said, he should be sent back to where he came from, including Kenya or the United Kingdom. This statement was bold. It reflected a growing concern that legal decisions alone may not fully address the situation. It also showed that some leaders believe a political or diplomatic approach may be necessary. He did not stop there. He spoke about the reaction of young people in the southeast. According to him, many youths are already angry and frustrated. He said they are watching closely and are losing trust in leaders who remain silent on issues that affect them. He warned that some young people now see their leaders as disconnected from reality. He explained that when leaders travel to Abuja and return without speaking openly, they are often accused of ignoring the truth or protecting their own interests. He made it clear that this perception is becoming stronger, and that it carries risks. Because once trust between leaders and the people breaks down, it becomes difficult to maintain peace and cooperation. The reaction in the hall showed that his message had impact. There was applause from some participants. There were expressions of agreement. There were also moments of silence. The president listened. He did not interrupt. He did not respond with a direct statement. But he acknowledged the speech. That moment quickly moved beyond the room. It entered public discussion. Across political spaces, media platforms, and social conversations, people began to talk about what was said. Some supported the traditional ruler's position. They argued that the issue needs urgent attention and that ignoring it could lead to deeper division. Others disagreed. They insisted that the rule of law must be respected and that the court's decision should stand unless changed through proper legal processes. Legal experts also weighed in. They noted that while appeals are ongoing, public statements like this can influence national debate but do not change legal outcomes directly. At the same time, political observers pointed out that moments like this often signal deeper tensions within the system. They said when traditional rulers begin to speak this openly in front of national leaders, it shows that concerns have reached a serious level. Since that event, the discussion has not slowed down. It has continued to grow. Different voices are coming in. Different opinions are forming. And one thing is clear. What happened in Abuja was not just a speech. It was a strong signal that this issue remains active, sensitive, and far from resolved. Now the situation has moved beyond the courtroom and beyond a single speech in Abuja. What is happening now is deeper, wider, and more complex. Across Nigeria, especially in the southeast, conversations are becoming more intense. The issue is no longer just about legal arguments or court procedures. It is now about trust, identity, and how people feel about the direction of the country. At the center of all this is still Nnamdi Kanu. His continued stay in a correctional facility in Sokoto has remained a strong point of discussion. Many people see that location as symbolic. It represents distance, not just in geography, but in connection. For supporters, it strengthens the belief that he is being kept far away from his people. For others, it is seen as part of a wider security arrangement. But regardless of the position people take, the fact remains that his detention continues to shape public opinion. The appeal process is still ongoing. Legal analysts say the outcome of that appeal will be very important. If the conviction is upheld, it will reinforce the current position of the law. If it is overturned or reviewed, it could change the entire direction of the case. But even as the legal process continues, another reality is growing. Public emotion. In many parts of the Southeast, there is a strong feeling that their concerns are not being fully heard. This feeling did not start today, but the current situation has made it stronger. Young people, in particular, are paying close attention. They are asking questions. They are forming opinions. And they are becoming more vocal. Some believe that justice must go beyond legal decisions. They argue that national unity requires listening, understanding, and sometimes taking steps that reduce tension, even when those steps are difficult. Others strongly disagree. They maintain that the law must remain the highest authority. They argue that once a court has made a decision, it should be respected, and any challenge must follow the legal process without pressure. This difference in opinion is creating a clear divide. And that divide is not just political. It is social. It is emotional. It is generational. Traditional leaders have also found themselves in a difficult position. On one side, they are expected to support national unity and work with the government. On the other side, they are expected to represent the feelings of their people. Balancing these two roles is not easy. That is why statements like the one made by Lawrence Agubuzu are important. They reflect the pressure that many leaders are facing behind the scenes. There is also increasing attention on the role of the federal government. Many people believe that President Bola Tinubu is now in a key position. Some see this as a legal matter that should be left entirely to the courts. Others believe that political leadership may be needed to calm tensions and guide the country through a sensitive moment. This creates a serious question. Where does the balance lie between law and leadership? Security experts have also raised concerns. They warn that prolonged tension, if not managed carefully, can lead to instability. They stress the need for open communication, careful decision-making, and actions that reduce pressure rather than increase it. At the same time, there are voices calling for patience. They argue that the legal system must be allowed to complete its process without interference. They believe that rushing decisions for political reasons could create more problems in the future. So the country stands at a critical point. Two strong paths are being discussed. One path focuses on strict legal process. The other focuses on political and social resolution. Both paths have consequences. Both paths have supporters. And both paths carry risks. What makes this situation even more sensitive is the timing. Nigeria is moving closer to another political cycle, and issues like this often become more important during such periods. Public opinion becomes stronger, and decisions become more significant. For now, there is no final answer. The courts are still involved. The government is observing. The people are watching. And the conversations are not slowing down. This is no longer just a case file. It is a national issue that touches on justice, unity, and the future of the country. And until a clear resolution is reached, the tension around it will remain. As the situation continues, attention is now shifting to what kind of decision will bring stability without creating new problems. There is growing awareness that whatever happens next will send a strong message across the country. If the current position remains unchanged, many expect that reactions will continue, especially from those who already feel unheard. This could deepen existing divisions and make it harder to rebuild trust. On the other hand, if there is any form of intervention outside the court process, it will also raise questions. Some will ask if the rule of law is being weakened. Others will see it as a necessary step to calm the situation. This is the delicate balance Nigeria is facing. Every option comes with pressure. Every delay comes with consequences. Meanwhile, conversations are no longer limited to political spaces. Civil groups, community voices, and observers across different regions are now involved. The issue has become part of everyday discussion, both online and offline. What makes it more serious is that expectations are rising. People are no longer just watching. They are waiting for action. Clear action. At the same time, there is a need for careful handling. Any move made in a rush could create another wave of tension. Any silence for too long could also increase frustration. This is why many believe that the next step must be both firm and thoughtful. Because in a situation like this, it is not just about solving a problem. It is about how that solution will shape what comes next. And right now, Nigeria stands in that moment of decision, where the next move may define not just this issue, but the direction of trust and unity going forward.